2020 has been a pretty eventful year so far. What's up everybody, I am Jaspreet Singh and welcome to the Minority Mindset. We went from breaking stock market highs in February to entering a recession in March to a very confusing April. All this craziness has left people wondering, what the heck should I be doing with my money? And that's a fair point because nobody wants to be one of those people who sold all their investments and their 401k at a huge loss. Well, you're in the right place because I'm going to be talking about how you can be a smarter investor and take better care of your family and your family's finances. So make sure you watch this video until the end because you don't want to create a crisis in your bank account, and I'm going to be sharing an exclusive offer from our sponsor Stash. But before we get into that, hit that thumbs up button below because if you don't, then YouTube doesn't share a video to anybody else. Subscribe to the Minority Mindset YouTube channel, that way you don't miss our new financial education videos every single week, and hit that little notification bell too because if you don't, then YouTube doesn't let you know when our new videos are released. First, don't start investing until you're ready to invest. Long-term investing is the real secret to building wealth, not saving. But if you don't have any savings, you shouldn't be investing. Your savings are not there to make you rich. You should only be saving your money for 3 reasons. So you don't have to worry about going into debt if your car breaks down, so you have money to make a big purchase like a house or I guess shopping at Gucci, and so you have money to invest. If you are saving money just to save it and you have a savings cushion, stop doing that and start investing. If you're investing and you don't have a savings cushion, stop doing that and start saving because you never know when your spouse is going to accidentally ram into your car on the way to work. When you are ready to start investing, you need to make sure, 2, that you're investing with the right time frame in mind. If your goal is to take your $10,000 and double it in 30 days, well, you're watching the wrong video. When you invest your money, your goal should be to invest for the long term. And when I say long term, I don't mean 6 months. You should only be investing money that you don't need right now. I mean, one of the best things that you can do is when you invest your money, just tell yourself that your money is gone because you don't want to be tempted to accidentally touch your investment money when you shouldn't. That's why when you're analyzing an investment or a company, you don't just want to ask, is this a good investment today? You want to know, will this be a good investment in 10 years? When you invest in a company or funds for the long term and you see an economic crash happen, the only thing you should be doing is doubling down on your investments and buying more. Plus, when you know that you're investing for the long term, you won't be one of those people that sell their retirement accounts at a 40% loss because you're worried about what's going to happen over the next 6 months. Yeah, please don't do that. Conceptualize this long-term time frame because when you're investing for the long term, you need to ignore these day-to-day price fluctuations. That way, the emotional part of your brain doesn't take over the logical part of your brain, and this way, you're not tempted to sell when you shouldn't. Remember, history has showed us that over the long run, the economy, the stock market, and strong companies will grow. But this requires you to invest for the long term, and 3, stay consistent. If you are not a full-time professional investor, chances are you don't have an investment fund worth $100 million that you can just sit there and watch all day long. You have to go to work, earn an income, and then invest a piece of what you earn. The best way to do that is by creating a system for your money. Start by creating a system customized to your paycheck. This way you know out of your paycheck how much money you're allowed to spend, how much money you're required to invest, and how much money you are required to save. Now, every time you earn $1, part of the dollar should go into your checking account, part of the dollar should go into your savings account, and part of the dollar should go into your investing account. When you do this, you force yourself to stick to your savings plan, you force yourself to stick to your investing plan, and you force yourself to stick to your spending plan. Another easy way to manage your money is by using a financial services app like our sponsor Stash, who wants to help you live a better life financially. Stash lets you save, bank, and invest your money all in one place, and you don't have to pay any add-on trading commissions when you invest with them, and they got a couple features that I think you're gonna like. 1, if you want to buy stocks of Amazon or Apple, which can get pricey, but you don't have all that money to buy a full share, well, that's no problem with Stash because you can invest in fractional shares, so you can buy a piece of 1 share of Amazon for as little as $1 with Stash. 2, Stash has a banking feature, so you can use them as a bank, and if you shop with the Stash debit card, you can get paid with stock back rewards. Stock back What you talking about? Well, it's kind of like cash back, except now you're getting stock back, which means you're going to be getting pieces of stocks and funds when you spend to help you build your wealth. So if you shop at Walmart, Stash will reward you with a piece of Walmart stock. The best part is you can start using Stash to invest and manage your money for as little as $1 a month. And because you are a Minority Mindset fan, if you deposit $5 into your investment account, Stash will give you a $15 bonus. You can get your exclusive offer by clicking the link in the description below and following the instructions, or by going on over to stash.app and entering the promo code MINDSET. Fourth, you gotta understand cash flow. There are two ways to make money when you invest. You can make money by the traditional way, buying low and selling high, or you can make money through cash flow. At the end of the year, a profitable company is gonna have cash left over in their bank account, and there's three things that they can do with this extra cash. They can save this money for emergencies, they can invest it into their business, or they can give this cash back to their owners. A good company should do all three. I mean, we saw exactly why during this 2020 crisis, because some airlines gave all of their extra cash to their owners. But a good company should do all three because they need to save for emergencies. They want to invest it in their business, that way they can grow, and they should reward their owners for making a good investment. Well, one way that companies can reward their owners or shareholders like you and me is through a dividend or cash payment. All you have to do is find the right company to invest in and then buy shares of that company, and then every 3 months or so, this company will send you a check or direct deposit some of these dividends into your bank account. The second way you can get this kind of cash flow is by investing in my favorite, real estate. When you invest in real estate, you're buying property like a home or an apartment complex, not to live in yourself, but to rent out to other people. So now, if you go out and buy a real estate property as an investment like a house, and then you can have Tom and Nancy move in, now, Tom and Nancy are gonna pay you $1,500 every month just for using and living in your property. Even if you decide to take June and July off from work, this way you can travel the world, Tom and Nancy are still living in your property, so they still have to keep paying you $1,500 a month while you're traveling the world. That's the advantage of investing for cash flow, because now, whether the value of your investment goes up or down, you're still getting paid. Fifth, own some tangible assets. Stocks, bonds, and ETFs are all paper assets. If you buy one share of an index fund or one share of McDonald's, you own a paper share of the company. But you don't own anything physical or tangible. In an ideal world, there'd be nothing wrong with that. But people are emotional, and they can buy and sell these paper assets with just a click of a button, so you can see wild swings of a company you invested in, even if nothing's wrong with that company. That's how people lost half of the net worth in just a matter of weeks, because people got emotional, and these paper assets can be very volatile. If you want a real balanced and diversified portfolio, you should always own some tangible assets, something you can see, feel, and touch. My favorite is real estate, because when you own real estate, you own something tangible, but you're also getting cash flow with it. A second tangible asset are commodities like gold and silver. Tangible assets don't need to make up 100% of your portfolio, but you need to own some. This way you're protected from anything. Sixth, have realistic expectations. In almost every aspect of my life, I'm an optimist. But when it comes to investing, I tend to be a realist. And I think the majority of people are the opposite of me. In most of their life, they are a realist, and then when it comes to investing, they suddenly become an optimist. Investing is not a way to get rich quick, and anybody who tells you something otherwise is just trying to sell you something. When you understand that investing is a long-term game, you will be able to control your emotions better, and you won't be forced to panic sell when you see these big, wild day-to-day swings. Remember why you started. You are investing to build long-term wealth, not short-term profits. So have realistic expectations, which brings me to 7. Avoid FOMO. FOMO, or fear of missing out, is one of the biggest profit killers out there because it kicks logic out the window, and then your emotional part of the brain takes over. In 2019, we started to see these big red flashing warning signs warning us about the state of the economy. Startups that were burning cash, that had small revenue, and had no idea of how they would make a profit were getting huge multi-billion-dollar values, even if these companies went out and said that we have no idea how or when we'll be profitable. We had reached a record high amount of corporate debt, we hit a record high amount of consumer debt, and people kept saying that nothing bad could ever happen to our economy. And then when the 2020 crisis hit, the companies that were extremely over-leveraged and the startups that were burning cash and had no profits and no path to profitability were the first to get hit. People didn't want to miss out on the next big thing, so they talked to their neighbors and their Uber drivers about the best investment, and then they start buying because everything just kept going up. And like we've seen happen time and time again, FOMO is making people pay the price. I want you to be a logical and a financial investor who's investing for the long term because this is a good investment, not just because, you know, well, FOMO. Did that rhyme? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, share it with one friend. That way we can help spread the word. If you want to learn more about the perfect storm that created this 2020 crash, I already made a video on it and you can watch it on YouTube by clicking this button right over here. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.